Greetings Zombie Slayers, Slippy Jim here. Welcome to my solo high round strategy guide for the new Outbreak map on Call of Duty Advanced Warfare Exo Zombies. If you haven't watched my solo high round strategy guides before, what I do is take you through step by step from round 1 through to at least round 30 and beyond to show you guys how to get to the high rounds, but also how to get to the point where you can tackle the high rounds. So you can see exactly what I do to get there and some of the best strategies to do so. If you haven't already, by the way, I have these guides for every single zombies map from World at War, Black Ops, Black Ops 2. So check them out. There's playlists on my channel for each of those maps. If you're having difficulties and you love playing zombies, you might enjoy watching those as well. But getting into the map here, when we spawn in, you start off with the Atlas 45 starting pistol. And each of the main areas here in Outbreak has a power generator that will power up an Exo Abilities station. So we're going to turn on the generator right here. You can just follow the power cable to find the Exo Ability station where you can buy that. This one here is Exo Medic. So that is what the corresponds to the perks in Treyarch Zombies. Exo Medic is the equivalent of Quick Revive, and it's actually the only Exo upgrade you can buy prior to getting the Exo suit. So you can see the starting weapons here. We have the MK14 and the Bulldog shotgun. Very traditional starting weapons. We usually do get the shotgun semi-automatic rifle combination in some of the old Treyarch maps as well. So that's pretty cool. Now to start off here, you want to shoot the zombies 4 times and then stab to get the kill so you get maximum points, because a knife kill is 130 points. And then we're going to move on through this door here to the main hub. You can go the other direction and you'll get to the exosuit in the same number of barriers, but this way you get to the Exo Health station so you can get Jug in the quickest possible way. Well, it's not Jug, it's Exo Health, but it does the same thing as Juggernog. Obviously from Treyarch Zombies. So once you've opened up the main hub area, you just want to get a few more kills. Again, in round 2 you can basically empty the magazine and then get the knife kill to maximize your points, at least until you run out of ammo in the pistol. And you're going to need another 2,250 points to get through to where the exosuit is. It is pretty easy to find where the exosuit is if it's the first time playing the map. You just have to follow the big red signs that point in the direction of the exo room, by the way. And you can see one of those over here. So we're going to go through to the holding area here. 1,000 points for that. As you go through each area, just turn on the generators, because that'll give you the extra 100 points, as I said before, to give you that little boost in points. And following this strategy, you will be able to get your exosuit equipped as well as Exo Health by round 3, which is pretty good, and you'll get set up nice and early. So just getting a few extra points there. So we have the 1250 for this third barrier. This will take us through to the Exo room. And these things here are the credit terminals. So they give you 100 points each time. Occasionally, very, very rarely, if they're sparking, you can click on them and they'll give you a bunch more points, even than 100, which is pretty cool. Okay, we're going to turn on the power to enable the Exo Station and get our Exo suit here. So the Exo suit obviously gives you the ability to boost jump and stuff like that, but it also gives you a more powerful melee hit, and you can basically one-hit kill zombies with that melee right up to round 5. So we're not actually going to need to buy a gun until about the dog round or just before that. Now what I'm going to do at this point is get the 2,500 I need to get the Exo Health. Remember, that's just like Juggernog from Treyarch Zombies. One thing worth mentioning about the health in Exo Zombies, you actually have more health than in regular Treyarch Zombies. You can take 3 hits before you go down, before getting Exo Health, and once you have Exo Health, it's something like 7 hits approximately. So it's quite a lot more than in normal Treyarch Zombies, but you really do need that, especially if you get zapped later on by the EMZ zombies, which we'll talk about a bit later. Now you can see what happened just there. We got an orbital drop, so you can see the indicator there, that hexagonal thing on the screen showing us the location of that drop. And these are like almost like score streaks that you get every couple of rounds. or it seems like every 3 rounds or so, and they can be a number of different things. It's always random. In this case, we got the camouflage, which is actually a really good one to get and to keep up your sleeve for a rainy day. I actually like to save up those score streak rewards until the tougher rounds, which are the infected zombie rounds. Okay, so we have our exo health, and we are looking good now. We are looking good. So we're going to move on down and pick up our camouflage. And you can have a maximum of 3 of these score streaks available to you at one time. We got 200 credits that time. That was pretty nice. I think we might have had a double points on. Okay, so here at round 4, we can still one-hit kill the zombies with our melee hit from the exosuit, which is pretty awesome. So we'll just be building up a few points by doing this. Eventually getting maybe a wall weapon to start with, and saving up towards more exo abilities and opening up more doors, things of that nature. So it's pretty easy at this point. This map starts off super easy and then gets super intense and fairly difficult in the higher rounds. Okay, so I've got well over 2,000 points here, and what I'm going to be doing is getting a wall weapon from this main hub area, and that is a burst fire submachine gun, which is really good for building points, but obviously a wall weapon as well. You can buy ammo off the wall if you really need to. This drop, by the way, is the DNA bomb, which is the equivalent of the nuke from Outbreak Zombies. Does pretty much the same thing, destroys all the zombies on the map. And we're going to get the AMR-9 submachine gun I was talking about before off the wall. Now through here we have the 3D printer. This is a pretty awesome equivalent to the mystery box. You can actually choose the weapon you want if you time it exactly right by clicking on it, spending the 1,000 points as soon as you see the weapon that you're trying to get. But it's very hard to time it exactly right. Sometimes the weapons will be the image or the hologram of the weapon will be there very, very briefly before it disappears, and sometimes it'll hang there for a little bit longer. So you can try and get the weapon you're after by clicking and timing it right, or you can just turn your back to it, which I tend to do, and just hope you get it like with the mystery box. So we got really, really lucky, as you probably noticed there, and got the Cell 3 cauterizer, which is as close as we get to a wonder weapon in this map, and I'll talk more about that a bit later. But now here in this morgue area is the second perk that I want to get, which is the Exo Reload, and what that does for you is the equivalent of Speed Cola from Outbreak Zombies, so it gives you a faster reload speed, obviously, so it is pretty awesome to get that. Now in solo it doesn't matter too much, and we get another DNA bomb there, but I'm probably not going to hit that because I want to build points here. In solo it doesn't really matter too much, by the way, what order you get the perks in, but in multiplayer it's worth mentioning that if you get downed, your perks will bleed out, starting with the most recently purchased perk. So what you want to do when you're playing multiplayer is get the very important perks first, and buy the less important ones last. Now what we got there was a special grenade out of the 3D printer, which is the Nano Swarm grenades, and these are pretty awesome. I'll talk about those a bit more when we use them. But they are pretty nice to get. Ultimately, you want to end up with the equivalent of monkey bombs, which are the distraction drones. But obviously, you need to get a little bit lucky to get those. It might take you a few tries. And we get the turrets. Okay, we're starting to get a few special zombies coming at us. There's our first EMZ zombie. And they are the worst. You really want to watch out for those and prioritize those when you see them in your horde. Try and take them out as quickly as you can and stay away from them. What they do is they will basically, if they hit you, or if you jump over them and try and jump over the top of them, what will happen is they will zap you, and you will lose your exo suit abilities. As well as your ability to boost jump and stuff like that. So I'll repeat that again. Once they zap you, you lose your exosuit, plus you temporarily lose your exo abilities, which includes exo health and stuff like that. So The only exception to that is the Exo ability you don't need the suit for, which is Exo Medic. So you'll still have your quick revive working, but everything else will be disabled for that very brief time before your Exo suit reboots. So be careful of that. Now you would have seen me just buy the impact grenades as well, and we get a pretty beast weapon here for building points, the pie take, which is pretty cool. This is actually called the LSAT in the game files, so it's pretty much the same weapon as the LSAT, more or less, but I guess in the Atlas world. And I'm going to stick with this because it's great for building points, even if it has a super slow reload. But getting back to the grenades, guys, they scale with the rounds, so they actually become more powerful with the rounds the higher you get. You can still effectively kill zombies with the grenades even in the really high rounds, as you'll see in this gameplay here. So don't underestimate the use of grenades. Normally if you got to say around 40 or 50 and you got blocked off by zombies, you might not bother too much with a grenade because you would know that it's probably not going to get you out of trouble. But in this game you can actually blast yourself with your contact grenades to get out of trouble. And the other thing is, you seem to have a fair bit of explosive resistance, or it might just be because of the extra health that you have, but you don't really down yourself very easily with grenades, so you don't have to worry quite as much about that. Okay, we're getting Exo Slam. This is one of the unique perks, if you like, in this map that allows you to boost slam with the Exo suit, so it's pretty handy. It's not super devastating on the zombies, but, you know, it still does a bit of a job on the zombies. And it's kind of good to have that, especially if you want to come down from your jump really quickly. But we'll be getting all of the perks in this game. The one perk that I haven't got, by the way, I probably should mention is if you are trying to get to high rounds or, you know, try and set records or whatever you're trying to do, beat your friends' records, you probably do want to get Exo Medic, so that you have that quick revive ability. I personally don't like to use it because I prefer to play the old World at War way, where if you die solo, it is game over. I like to think it keeps me on my toes, gives me that bit of a challenge, but obviously you don't need to do that yourself, especially if you're trying to get the higher rounds, because if I die even once, it's game over. Okay, we got an Exo Zombie here to try and take out here with the Cell 3 Cauterizer. Now this Cell 3 Cauterizer is obviously a shotgun, as you can see. It is a one-hit kill up to about round 20. As you upgrade it, it gets more powerful as well. It is actually a fully automatic shotgun, although you're going to see me using it as if it was semi-automatic. But if you hold down the trigger, what happens is the first couple of shots are pretty slow, but then it speeds up. So you can use it that way, although you go through more ammo, obviously. So we've opened up the administration area now so that we have access to the decontamination pad. What we have now is the infected zombie round. This is probably the most challenging round to get through. And what happens with these infected zombies, you'll have the occasional regular zombie, but most of them will be infected zombies. But what they'll do is, if they hit you, they will infect you instantly with the zombie virus. And you have about a minute to get to the decontamination pad, and once you click on that, you have to spend 500 points to decontaminate, and it will cure you of the infection. If you don't cure yourself, what will happen is in solo, even with Exo Medic, you will instantly die. It is game over. In multiplayer, what will happen is if you don't cure the infection in time, you'll go into spectator mode and your player character will actually become a zombie, and the other players will have to kill it because it'll start attacking them. So you can see I'm infected now, and I get that countdown timer. Right now I've got 46 seconds to get to the decontamination pad and cure myself. Now an alternative to this is, if you're already almost through the round, if you kill all of the zombies in the infected zombie round, it will automatically cure you of the infection and you won't have to spend the 500 points. But what I would say is just make sure you have enough points to cure yourself a couple of times. And also you want to have up your sleeve some of those score streak rewards that you can chuck out if you really get in trouble in the infected zombie round.
you to break!